Welcome back to the Global Girlfriend. My name's Brianna.
And I'm Morgan, and we're here to help women explore the world one adventure at a time.
Very exciting. Thank you for coming back. If this is a new episode for you, and if it's your first time listening, welcome to our community. We're so happy you're here.
Yeah. Maybe before we break into what this amazing topic of today will be, let's just do a little catch up. Anything exciting happen in the last week of life?
Oh my God. Yes. I was so excited to tell the podcast this story. Well, not excited because it was a devastating situation. But we talk a lot on this podcast about being a strong, independent woman. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I renounced my desire to be a strong, independent woman this week when I discovered a massive spider in my sink. Like I woke up in the morning. It was like 6 a.m. I knew I was going to have a crazy day, and I go into my kitchen, and what is in my sink? I'm not joking. A spider the size of my palm. It was big.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was brown. It was hairy. Like it looked like it had like its body was like moving like a gimbal underneath. Like it was so gross. I hated it.
Ooh.
Absolutely hated it. And I was like, I can't friggin' deal with this morning. Like I'm just gonna leave. My kitchen is also an indoor outdoor situation, so I'm very connected to nature here in Bali. And I was like, I'm just going to leave the spider and hopefully it crawls back into the trees and it will be gone when I get home from work. So then all day at work, even though I was supposed to be thinking about educating the youth, I was only thinking about the spider in my sink. And I come home and the spider was still there. But more horror unfolded. I like get close to it and it's got this like white
Oh my
thing
gosh.
right beside it. And then I looked even closer and I think it was an egg sac and it had laid babies and there was hundreds of these tiny little baby spiders on my sponge in my sink and I was like I am a feminist through and through, but I wish there was, I don't even care if it's a man. I just wish there was somebody else here to deal with this. But here we are, strong, independent women. I'm like, I now have to deal with this massive spider and its babies. And I filmed it all for Instagram as my last will and testament because I'm like, what if I die? What if it bites me and I die? At least the gram will know about it and maybe someone will come and save me. Um,
Oh
and
my
anyway,
gosh.
it took me a really long time. I like trapped it. But it took a few attempts. So the first time I like tried to trap it and it like scurried out, not of the sink, but like I didn't fully catch it. And then it was mad and it was like doing tornadoes in the sink. And I was screaming, like I was screaming bloody murder. There's a bunch of construction workers on the other side of the fence. Like I'm sure they thought I was being attacked. But anyway, it was so gross. I did eventually like trap it and then I put the paper under it and I like ran outside and then I dealt with all of the babies and then I had a huge glass of wine at 4:30 on a Wednesday because it was so stressful.
Essential.
But
Essential.
anyway, that's the drama that's going on in Bali these days. Everyone's like, "Oh, Bali is so beautiful." Bali is so beautiful, but oh my god, the nature here is insane. And then also like I do have a lot of new friends that I've made in the past years from Australia and they're like, "Oh, it's just a spider." And I'm like, "Just a spider? Just a spider?"
Just
There's
a
a beast.
giant spider.
There's a beast in my sink. I slayed a dragon today. Oh my god. So anyway,
Uh,
the spider was has been the big thing that's been on my mind this week. What about you, Morgan? What's been going on?
okay, those are some devastating realities of life sometimes.
Oh, life
Uh,
sometimes.
but hilarious story. Okay, I haven't had anything that like crazy this week. I was trying to think like, okay, what even happened this week? But I was thinking of if you are from Texas or maybe the U.S. in general, there's this giant gas station called Buc-ees. Have you heard of it?
I want to go. It sounds like a museum. I really want to enjoy it.
It is like honestly now like a destination tourist spot. But like any like little road trip you go on in Texas, like you're kind of like you're looking at on Google Maps like where are the Buc-ees because I want to stop because like it's gigantic. Like it has a mascot which is like a beaver,
Is it
and they
all
have
over
like
America or is it just in Texas?
so it started just in Texas, but now they're having them all over. Like I think there's some in I saw one in Colorado this year, and I think they're starting to get all over the states. But anyways, we were going down south, yeah, to the beach in Texas, and so we stopped at Buc-ees, which is like I get so excited about. And like they have such good food, so we got like chicken sandwiches and like the candied nuts, and so it was so fun. But you
Do
got to go to Buc-ees.
do you have like a go-to list of things that you like have to get when you go to Buc-ee's? Do you try new things? Like what are they selling there? Is it just food? Is it like a
What?
convenience store? Can you get gas? Like
Okay, yeah. So it is a gas station, so they have like so many pumps. So it's like so like I can't even tell you like for like 100 pumps. Because like they say everything's bigger in Texas. And um they like the question is, what doesn't Bucky's have? Like they have like house decor. They have um well, obviously food you can eat. They have like all
yeah,
this like Bucky attire. You can get like a dog leash with Bucky beavers on them for your dog. You like, and then the food is like truly phenomenal. Like they have brisket sandwiches. They have like burritos and banana pudding. Like all
a
this
dream.
stuff. It's amazing. So if you come visit me in Texas this year, we'll go to Bucky's.
I was just about to say, add that to the list. So I have some big. I've never been to. I haven't. I mean, I've been to America, but I haven't been that many places. So my dream this summer is to go to Texas. We're gonna hopefully record some episodes for you guys,
Yeah.
but also I really want to see people unironically wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats, and now I want to go to Bucky's. So let's add it to the list.
You will see it all. You will see it all. Okay. Anyways.
All right, let's get into it. So today we are doing another short and spicy episode about the power of packing light. We want to talk about how you can do a weekend trip with just a backpack. This is some people's nightmares. This is some people's only way that they travel. But we love those little budget flights, and on those little budget flights, oftentimes they make you have the world's tiniest piece of luggage. So we're going to talk about
Yep.
how to master that.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as always, I think it's great to start off with like a personal experience where we've actually done this. Do you have one, or do you want me to go first? Or
Oh my gosh, actually, what a coincidence. I'm packing in a backpack right now. I'm gonna I don't know if it's gonna work for sound, but it's gonna work for YouTube. This is my old faithful. I literally
I love
didn't
it.
even plan this. This is my old faithful backpack. Like I know when this thing comes out, I'm going on a trip. My cat also knows. He likes to scratch it because he doesn't like when I leave. But that is my like old tried and true faithful backpack. I got it for like
Gotta have one.
15 euros in Albania, but it's got great straps. It's like pretty small and it has literally taken me everywhere. I feel joy when it comes out of the closet because I know that I am going on a trip. I am a huge advocate for packing light. A lot of my friends like laugh
Oh
at me
yeah.
and make fun of me sometimes with how little I travel with. Like I for the past 5 summers have done my summer in just like with a bigger backpack. But I'm a huge advocate for packing light. And I'm so glad I got to share my beautiful red backpack with you all.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I love how yours was just like unplanned and there. Mine is strategically placed right here because I'm in the office. But like this is hilarious as like a former drama teacher and a current drama teacher, Brianna.
Yeah,
Like we would planned and unplanned have props like
have
right here
props.
ready to go.
Props on
Yeah,
pod.
yeah. Props. This is mine. It's my go-to like weekend backpack trip because it's small. I checked it took me a while to figure it out. 28 liters, and it's small but like randomly can fit so much in it, and I can go over like essential parts of a backpack later that I think you need. But yeah, I don't know. I've done so many trips with sorry, this chair is so squeaky if you can all hear that because it is squeaky. Um, but yeah, I've done so many trips with this backpack, and I'm thinking of one trip, but maybe this is cheating a little bit because I was doing like an extended weekend in Budapest in like beginning March, so it was still frigidly cold there.
Yeah,
So it was like full on winter, which it is harder to do a small backpack trip in the winter. Just side note.
yeah.
But I tried the thing where you put some clothes in a pillowcase. Have you tried that?
No, what is this? Explain it.
So yeah, you get a like a normal pillowcase that you put on a bed, And
Yeah.
I recommend getting one that has like a zip close. So I got like a silk one with a zip close, and I put like some of my clothes in there and held it as if it were a pillow to get on the plane. And then my backpack. But I have heard that that doesn't work anymore because people are catching on. But that was like one of my like I had to pack as light as I could in the winter of Budapest.
I
Um,
love that you're a risk taker and you just went for it and it worked out. That's great.
oh yeah,
But
yeah.
it's so true. It is genuinely, it's not impossible to do a weekend in the winter with a backpack, but it's way harder. Obviously, a sweater takes up like 100 times more space than a bathing suit. Um,
Oh, totally.
but it is possible. I I mean, I love how light and free you are when you travel with just a backpack. I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
it saves time. You don't have to wait for your checked luggage. All of your stuff is with you. You don't have to worry about anything getting lost. And then
Hmm.
also, I'm just like I'm a public transportation girly. I'm a like going to the mountains sort of thing. Like I travel to a lot of places where the roads are like not ideal. And so I love just being able to put something on my backpack and not have to worry about like my wheels breaking off, or I just feel like you have so much more mobility when you don't have a lot you're literally not weighted down by anything cumbersome. It's great.
Oh no, absolutely. Because I want you to imagine yourself in like Italy. Like you're in Cinque Terre and you are going to find where you're staying and you have to climb up 20,000 stairs. And you can talk to my parents about this because they did not pack light and they're still paying for it today. like, like it's so much easier, not like only with the public transportation that's crucial with
Yeah.
packing light, but also like all these stairs, or what if an elevator is broken, or you're staying in a little old place that doesn't have an elevator. Like
Yeah.
it really is beneficial. And then also it just mindful packing, I think it brings a challenge, and it's also like it's really nice to be intentional about the specific things you're bringing, really getting to the nitty gritty. Do I need this, do I not, is this going to benefit my trip, is it not? And it's kind of like a game, just like figuring out what is essential and what do you actually not need.
Because
you
when
know
you get down to it, like, you don't need that much stuff. Like, I don't need to bring all of my skincare with me. Like, I will survive for a few days with an eye cream and a moisturizer. And then also, like, I love the challenge of being like, how many cute outfits can I make out of one black dress? And then packing the one black dress and like doing a little scarf with it or like
Hmm.
whatever. I
Oh
totally
yeah.
agree. It's a fun little game. Challenge yourself to just how minimalistic can you actually get.
And
So you
yeah.
were I would love it if you walked us through choosing the right backpack essentials. It sounds like you have some passions on this topic.
Okay, okay. So as far as choosing the right backpack, I would say an ideal is about 20 to 30 liters. The backpack that I showed you earlier, it's like a North Face kind of sporty backpack. Um, is a 28-liter one. So a little bit on the bigger end of that range, but still like small enough for many of those airlines, like ones I'm thinking of that we've, like Ryanair, Wizz Air, for crying out loud.
Yep.
And then some of the states like Frontier or Spirit Airlines, they will
Yeah.
really get you. So I think that the 2830 is kind of like the bigger end of those small backpacks, but definitely can work and fit in their little things they need to fit in. And then I think that like one of the things that's really important to me is having the water bottle sides. One to put your water bottle in if you're in a place where you can drink the water, and so it really saves money and makes sure you're hydrated. If you're always have your water bottle to fill up, and also that you can just keep things there, easy access. I think that is super essential. I feel like I'm thinking of other ones, but do you have any essential things on your backpack?
The essential things on my backpack, what I love is a backpack that is not just sort of like a big empty like hole when you open it. I want like little
Yeah.
internal pockets. Like I want somewhere where
Yeah.
I can like slide my laptop if I need to bring my laptop for work. I want like little pockets inside because I also always travel with like a little plastic bag and that's where you put because everything touches everything in a backpack, right? And
Hmm.
so I'm like I want a little plastic bag to like put my laundry in so that I can tie that up and keep that separate from the clean clothes. I love a little bit of like
Yep.
straps at the front so I can like tie a pair of running shoes on the outside if I need it. I just
Hmm.
feel like multiple compartments really save you from like being that chaotic girl who has to like unpack everything to get to something at the bottom. Multiple entry points as well. So like if you can unzip from the top or like if you can unzip from the side sometimes.
Yeah.
Also
Oh,
really
that's
essential
crucial.
because you don't want to feel like a crazy bag lady and you don't want to feel like you have to like unpack your whole life for the general public every time you need a new t-shirt. So yes,
Yeah.
definitely get a backpack with like multiple entry points and lots of pockets.
Okay, I'm right there with you. And then I think another essential thing, and I think you mentioned yours had it, which I love, is comfortable straps. So I think like padded ones are great. And even if it has like the little buckle to kind of like distribute the weight on your hips, that is just super helpful because if you're trying to pack it in this bag, it might get a little heavy, especially if you have a book and a journal and such. And if you're bringing your laptop with you, if you have to work or something.
Full bottle of water,
I
like
think
yeah.
giant bottle of water. I think that yeah, comfortable straps
And
is essential.
honestly, like also when you have your backpack, like do not worry about looking cool with your backpack. No one looks cool with the hip straps done up, but that does not matter. Okay? You don't have to take your backpack with you on every adventure on the trip. You just need to get your stuff to the hotel, to the Airbnb, to the hostel. Like you don't need to be a fashion icon from the airport to where you're staying. And so just embrace like this is something, I used to, want to be like the young hot travel girly. And now I'm like, no, I want to just like get from A to B and enjoy the journey. And so I don't care I don't care if I look like a nerd with my hip straps done up. Like I just need to get
Mhm.
myself to where I'm going. And then you take
Yeah.
out your cute little handbag from your backpack when you get to where you're going and you can go and enjoy your day. So just embrace like that high quality, nice structure of your of your backpack. Like just go for good quality. Go for comfort. No shame in that.
Zero shame in that. And yeah, like I said, like if y'all are saw it, mine's like a sporty one. So like I would even probably bring that for my little weekend in Paris, which Paris is like so fashionable. Hey, mix and match. Yeah, just do you.
You do
Do
you.
you.
All right, let's talk about what to pack. So the internet
Yes.
told me, I was just, Googling it, things to talk about. The internet told me about the 1, 2, 3 rule, which is if you're traveling for a weekend, you should bring one pair of shoes, two bottoms, and three tops. How do we feel about this?
I don't know if if I can like put that rule on every trip because I like have to like see the trip, analyze it, and see like what is it going to require of me. So I don't know if I can live. I don't know if I can live like that. What about you? Where are you at with it?
I disagree. And like I am a minimalistic packer kind of person, but I think that's too minimal. I also think that I also want a nice dress to wear at night, like
Hmm.
not a ball gown, but
Oh
like
yeah,
I think that that rule does not
or a
include
ball gown.
having a cute or a ball gown. I want to bring my ball gown to
True.
Paris. Yeah, so I think the 1, 2, 3 rule, one pair of shoes, two bottoms, three tops. I mean, that's a big challenge. And maybe we can do a challenge sometime where we actually follow that rule.
We
But
should.
I think that's like a little bit minimalistic, but I will say don't go crazy. Stick with the basics, like bring one or two
Hmm.
bottoms, bring a dress, bring a few
Yep.
tops, bring like one sweater. And then I think
Hmm.
accessories are your friends. I love like a little scarf, a little ascot, maybe a cool hat, different
Love a hat.
jewelry. Jewelry is small. Like you can mix and match your outfits if you only bring a
Oh
few
yeah,
items, if you accessorize them.
I'm right there with you. And how? Where are you at with shoes? How many shoes do you usually pack for a weekend trip?
I mean, I have done a weekend trip with like just one pair of shoes. If
Hmm.
they're cute and I'm, especially if I'm going to a city or something like that, like I'll get, a cool pair of sneakers or something that looks great with a dress, with pants, whatever. But I do
Hmm.
sometimes bring two pairs of shoes, especially like if you're going to the beach or a tropical destination, or if it's the winter, I'll put like my boots on, I'll wear the heaviest pair of shoes. And then in that like water bottle holder, I'll often, slide the flip flops in there or like shove
Yeah.
an extra pair of shoes. So I have a shoe on each side of the bag. What about you? Where are you at
Oh
with
yeah.
shoes?
Yeah, I'm similar. It depends. I've also done just the one, but I think I would say on a consistent basis, I'm for a two shoe person. I wear the heaviest ones I have, whether it's my, you know, fashionable boots, or it's my hiking boots, or whatever closed-toed shoes I'm bringing, and then I'll put another pair of shoes in my backpack, whether it's like Tevas or like chunky sandals, which I love chunky shoes,
I
with the
know.
platform, but it's
They're
hard because
cute.
they're hard to fit in there. But sometimes I do it.
And that's when I think it comes down to prioritizing. You know what you need to make yourself feel cute, so maybe you sacrifice a pair of pants for an additional pair of shoes. Like, again, we told you before, make it a game.
Hmm.
Let's talk about toiletries because we live in a skincare era where everyone has like a million products for their face and a million pieces of makeup. What are your essentials? What do you bring in terms of toiletries in a backpack?
Yeah. Okay. So toiletries are heavy. They're like the heaviest part of what's in my backpack usually, actually, aside from my laptop. But I do bring most of my little toiletries, but I bring them in the small travel size bottles. So, I for me, a thing that I can like leave behind is usually like shampoo and conditioner. For a weekend trip, I usually wash my hair before, and then where I'm staying would usually have it, or if I'm visiting someone, they'll have it. But otherwise, I don't need to wash my hair if I washed it right before. So I leave behind the hair stuff. Because then I don't really do my hair very often. But I always bring my makeup, and then just like some skincare stuff, but all in
I
small things.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Small things. I also like I don't need to bring all of the serums. I'll bring, a vitamin C and a moisturizer. I don't bring
Hmm.
my like full makeup. I'll, bring a foundation, a concealer, a mascara, and like I again, it's that idea of like what are the essentials here? What do I really need and what can I sacrifice for a weekend? Oh, I also bring face masks because I feel like that's like a nice little treat at the end of the day and like they're small and thin and I'm like I don't need all my skincare products. I'll just do a little mask and feel like a queen.
Oh yeah, and they're
Um,
light, so that's perfect. Um, yeah.
what
Okay.
about I mean, other things, what are some other things that you keep in your bag?
Okay, let's talk gadgets, because I feel like this day and age, technology is here.
We need
Okay,
technology.
for me, as I love photography, so 100% I always have my camera. And then just making sure I have all my chargers, my phone charger, I bring my camera charger, my portable charger, are most of the ones. And also, since I've done a lot of remote work, if it's a weekend, then I don't really need my laptop. But if I'm gonna be there on a day where I'm working a little bit, I have my laptop and charger as well. And then one other thing is sometimes I have a little mini tripod. So, because it's nice, either if you're solo, which we talked about that solo trips on our last week's episode, but also with like a girlfriend, like sometimes it's not always, you can ask people to take it and they're so kind and that's great. But sometimes you get the best photos when you like set it up and like
Set it up
get a
and you
great
can
photo.
take your time. Yeah. Use that
So
little
those are
tripod.
my usual gadgets that I bring and essentials. What
Yeah,
about
I
you?
do
What are some
I
things?
do I do the same thing. I try and leave my laptop as home like at home as much as possible. I just like hate traveling with it. But
Me
again,
too.
I want that little laptop space so I can put it in there.
Hmm.
I have found everyone makes fun of me for it. I'm an iPad kid. I bought a little tablet about a half a year ago. And I just bring that with me on trips. I like it because again, I fly budget airlines and sometimes they don't have like things to watch on the plane, so I can like download some shows or I can
Hmm.
like
Oh,
download a
nice.
book to it. And so I can have like a bit of a bigger screen if I like need to do work or whatever. But I find that that has been a really nice alternative to like having to bring my laptop with me everywhere.
Yeah,
And then I think we talked about this on last week's episode as well, but having that power bank as well or like a
essential.
multi-purpose charger. Absolutely, you got to bring that. But I don't need. Yeah, I try and limit the technology that I bring with me, but you need the essentials.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just a couple other like random miscellaneous things. Um, if it depends what kind of trip it is, but if it ends up being a trip where I'm staying in a hostel, I always have a small lock, and not like the lock with like the thick thing around. You need a small one because a lot of times it's like a really small hole in the locker.
Yeah.
So I always bring a lock in case if I'm staying at a hostel, just to lock my things away, just to make sure that they're secured while we're gone exploring the city.
Absolutely. And I always bring like a few little, like some Band-Aids, some
Oh
ibuprofen.
yeah,
Like I'm not doing a full first aid kit, but just like a couple small things in case you need them.
yeah. I
Um,
think that's essential.
Amazing. All right. So
Okay.
your backpack is packed. You're ready for your trip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess, I mean, we talked about this a lot on our last week's episode, so I don't think we need to get into it too much, but your backpack is packed. Now you get to go enjoy your trip. How fun. Just be present.
How
Enjoy
fun.
your 3 outfits. Like, take lots of photos.
Really. Okay, wait, real quick though. Do you have any specific techniques? I know you mentioned your pockets.
Oh,
But do you have any specific things that you use that help you keep organized? Or
I do not have like I mean I have packing cubes. I don't use them very often, but I'm going to let me show you this method. So I forget where I saw this, but I'm a big fan of the roll. So I have these really cute little surf shorts. If
those
you
are so
take your
cute.
clothes and like you roll them, you can't, sorry, I'm if you're listening to this and not watching it on YouTube, the roll, if you roll things and then just put all of these little like rolled up sausages, I find you can
Hmm.
fit so much more with the roll
Oh yeah.
technique.
I
What about you?
love the roll technique.
How are you
I'm
packing?
right there. I'm right there with you with the roll technique. And then I am also passionate about. Um, there are these bags, and not the ones where you use a vacuum, but the one where you roll the bags and you push out the air, so it
Oh yeah.
compresses it and it really makes it smaller. So like weight wise, it's the same weight, but
Yeah.
as far as like space, it
Yeah.
really allows you to squeeze more in there. So I'm so passionate about those. Um, so yeah, I have packing cubes too, but I don't always use them.
Don't always use them.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we hope that you are feeling inspired to leave the suitcase behind and do a little
Yeah.
weekend. Try minimalist travel. Honestly, so fun, so rewarding.
Hmm.
You can absolutely do it. So our challenge for you is to book a weekend away and bring just a backpack.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so yeah, why don't Morgan? Where can people find us on the internet, and how can they tell us their travel packing stories?
Yeah, yeah. Share those stories with us. Okay, so you can find us on Instagram. We're at the Global Girlfriend. You can email us at theglobalgirlfriend@gmail.com. Sorry. I'm like, what am I thinking about? The
What's our
Global
email?
Girlfriend at gmail.com. Yes, 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 yes. And then soon, when our website launches, you can find us at theglobalgirlfriend.com. And we'd love to hear from you.
Amazing. We would love
Yeah.
to hear from you. Tell us all about your packing tips. Tell us, do you have any funny packing fails? Share them with us on Instagram. We can't wait to hear from you. And we will see you all next week. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Thanks for joining the Global Girlfriend. Bye.
Bye.